ears on so that you can watch and see what's going on. Hello everyone. Welcome to Art Space. Welcome to the closing event of Audrey McCartney Barrett. I'm very glad you could be here. Firstly, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the studio. So we're at 3418 West Armitage in Chicago, Logan Square. By the way, my mask was a birthday present from Juan and Julio Delgado, so thank you very much. It's the most beautiful accessory I own. So tonight we're going to look at Audrey's oil paintings on canvas, which are cityscapes of Chicago. And just before we get into the show, I just want to let you know that we're a new studio, but we have quite a few things still going on, even though we're still struggling with the COVID-19. We're still working and we're still providing art experiences, such as Tuesday is a drop-in class for kids from 6 to 7, and it's run by Nicole, who you'll meet in a minute. And because it's a drop-in class, we've limited the classes, so that everyone has lots of space. So if you're interested in that class, I would book right away. We are considering doing 2 on Tuesday, just to give people the option to book and still have really small classes. On Saturday is a 5-week session, a portfolio class for a more dedicated art student, and it's the same price except that you book all 5 classes at once. It's a little bit more of a commitment for your young artist. In between that, we have adult one-on-one art classes, which you can do in person or Zoom. Whatever you're comfortable doing, we're comfortable doing both. We have myself and a really great artist who will work with you, watercolor, oils, landscape, portraiture. Really, we can help you develop your art skills. Also, if you're already an artist, it's great. This is the perfect time to push yourself and develop even more. As well as that, we do virtual paint and sips, virtual parties. We prepare everything. You can either pick it up or we'll mail it. So there's no reason to go without your art, even though things are a little restricted now. There's still plenty of opportunity to make art and have fun. So now I'd like to introduce you to the 2 people who will be showing you Audrey's artwork this evening. So I'm going to mask up and have them come over because they're way over there. So give me 1 second. I'm not the best person with a mask, but okay. So first one is Jake. So Jake is a volunteer here.
Hello.
And he's going to be working, showing you some of the paintings this evening and talking about them as well. And then also is Nicole, who's designed her own outfit this evening. So turn around, show them the back. So isn't it beautiful? Yes. Nicole is one of our artists, super creative, super fun, and she's also going to be showing you some of Audrey's paintings this evening. And behind the camera is Shenzhen, and he'll turn the camera around in a second. He's doing the camera work for us, so thank you, Shenzhen. Really great. So before we go any further, we're going to meet Audrey virtually. So I'm going to ask Nicole and Jake to just have a seat over there, and then we're going to come over here so you can meet Audrey.
McCartney Barrett. I'm a painter and I specialize in cityscapes, particularly Chicago. I was born in Queens, New York. As a quiet and only child, I was always drawing on paper or in my mind growing up. In the lower grades, I was distracted with the odd angles of the buildings outside my classroom window. As a young child, I was fixated on why the angles looked so odd compared to how the buildings looked when I stood in front of them. This is how I became to realize perspective. Architecture in Queens at that time was pretty boring, except for one building. The top had embellishments. It was not necessary, and yet there it was. It was wonderful. It sparked an interest in architecture. I did not start painting in earnest until age 30. I was fortified with my local library art books and interest in art history and, of course, architecture. I moved to Chicago suburbs in 1975. Inspired by the Chicago Botanical Gardens, I had a new career as a botanical landscape painter, showing in art fairs, galleries, the Art Institute Sales and Rental Gallery, along with my paintings being collected in a number of corporate collections. The Illinois State Museum made 2 purchases, which I'm very proud of. One's a painting and the other is a etching. Photographs. Photography is how I work. I need to work for my own photographs. My husband would take me downtown. We would drive, we see something, he'd pull over, find a spot, get out, walk around, take my photos from every angle. The more fun ones and the best ones are he will drop me off in a neighborhood and I will walk and we'll meet several blocks later. And that's actually the best way. And I feel the neighborhood, I feel what it is, where it's been. When I get home, I assemble a massive amount of photography. If I see something that's working, I pull all those photographs together because I've taken them from many angles. Think about composition. Maybe do a sketch or 2, but generally I go right to the canvas. Here is a sample of my beginnings. This was a fresh canvas. I did my pencil sketch. I reworked it a couple of times. I always start with acrylics first. Draw, make some changes. I still have more to do. But I'm at the point where I can really start to consider it seriously. This is a view in New York from my hotel window. This was a rooftop garden, and I placed it with what I saw in this area. This is a more modern building, and I like the juxtaposition between the modern, the old, and the necessary. I'm going to work this out. I think this one might be okay. And make a decision. Am I going to stay with acrylics or am I going to switch to oil? Thank you for watching, and I hope you like my paintings.
Alright guys, take a really good look. Get in there, see if you recognize it. Some college students might actually recognize it. This is in Rogers Park. This is Loyola, the Loyola station. So you can kind of get a view. I personally really love her distance. I love looking at it and I see the people just kind of melting into the background. You can see that up on the station as well. Just the people, they're all there, they're hanging out. But I really enjoy just watching. It's like being in your car someplace on a lazy Sunday afternoon. Traffic's not bad, but you're just meandering through when you see everybody's lives go by. Personally, I always love being near the trains, so it's very relaxing. You can see she's got very strong structures in here too. The buildings, the stations, very strong lines. So just relax, enjoy it. That's how I do it. see what brings you pleasure and joy out of it. And we'll move forward. Since we're in Logan Square ourselves, you might actually recognize this one if you're local here in the neighborhood. This is on Diversey and Sacramento. You might even recognize over in this area there's actually a gas station in real life, and this is a little hardware shop on the corner. So she's taking images that are straight from street corners. These pictures are literally right there. The size of this thing is going to be, it's 18 inches high by 24 inches wide, and this one runs, it's $1,600. I really love the street lights in this one too, guys. It's so pretty. And we'll keep moving. Now, this one, take a close look if you're from Chicago. And if you're a Cubs fan, this one should look pretty familiar to you. This is the Addison station. So this is looking east. This is looking over towards the lake while you're in Cubs neighborhood. This is Addison and Sheffield. So very popular image. I totally expect some Cubs fans to bring this one home. It's 18 inches again by 24 inches wide. And this is again $1,600. It's oil on canvas. It looks, I could just see some of the Cubs fans running around on that street there. Fortunately, it's not a Cubs game day. It's a little quieter. Now I'll turn you over to Jake for our next painting.
All right, so here we have oil on canvas, a 20 by 24 piece for $1,600. This one is the Bryn Mawr in Uptown train station, and anybody who has spent any time waiting for the train, either in gorgeous weather or in the bitter, bitter cold, knows what it's like to be up there, and that's the feeling you get here from the people bundled up on these tracks. Again, a beautiful oil on canvas, 20 by 24. This next piece is a streetscape in Lincoln Park, the Lincoln Park neighborhood in Chicago. This one's going for $1,900. It's oil on canvas again, 22 by 28, slightly bigger than the Bryn Mawr train station. So we don't know exactly where it is in Lincoln Park, but those of you watching at home, you could maybe take a guess. We have some cathedral towers in the painting and some interesting colored buildings. Again, this is oil on canvas, 22 by 28, 1900. So here's another oil on canvas. Again, we are brought back to Uptown, looking from the L tracks. And as you can see, anybody looking from any of these apartment buildings, it's so densely packed. Such an urban jungle. Again, this is oil on canvas, 24 by 18, slightly taller piece, 1600. We're in Uptown looking from the L tracks.
While we're taking a ride on the train, we're gonna go downtown for a little bit. This is off of the Ohio Street off-ramp. So anybody who's been driving downtown, drive through the off-ramp on Ohio, this is the scene that you would have seen. If you take a look, the buildings are still the focus. You can see the sky, but typically Audrey likes to focus entirely on the cityscape. She doesn't do too much in the way of the sky because she truly believes that the buildings are the main focus point. Now this one is again oil on canvas. It is 24 by 24 and is 1600. We're going to go a little bit west now. So this is Carpenter Street and the West Loop. This one is a bit of a hodgepodge of details throughout the city. You can see that beautiful sky is really just there to accent the buildings, the street lights. If you take a look on Google Maps, if you can find this exact corner, you'll notice there are some changes that Audrey has taken liberties with. So I'll challenge you to find those changes, spot the differences, as it were. But I think Audrey did a very nice job. It's very pleasing, relaxing, and structurally very sound. And back on the train again. So you can see here, this is the Chicago Sun-Times building on the right-hand side. You can see all of the cranes, hence why this painting is called Cranes Chicago. This is acrylic on canvas this time, and it is 24 by 24, $1,600. You can see the beautiful crane work as it's continuing construction of the very busy, progressive city of Chicago. Ever changing, always reforming. So even if these paintings don't look exactly the same as the city does right now, that's kind of the beauty of it. This is part of the history. Just one snapshot in time. We'll see Chicago change some more in the future. But here's what it looks like for this moment in time. And I'll turn you over to Jake.
So anybody working around the corner of 444 West Jackson Boulevard and goes for a quick workout at Formula Fitness or down for a cheat day at the corner bakery there, this piece was made especially for this show and is so beautiful. Oil on canvas again. This piece is slightly smaller. It's 12 by 9, 12 high, 9 wide. It is unframed. It's the only unframed painting. It goes for $200. So we're back in Uptown with this oil on canvas 12 by 16 going for $600. As mentioned before, Audrey likes to really focus on structures, and you know, you really have it with this one, from the light fixtures to the train to the little storefronts past the tracks to the tracks themselves and the cones and the street dividers. Really a beautiful piece. Again, 12 by 16, going for $600. So now we're on Chicago Avenue and River North. Specifically, this is 232 actually, West Chicago Avenue. This is a 22 by 28, the biggest piece here, going for $1,900. What's interesting about this is if you ever go past here, there have been improvements on the building so far, so it doesn't look exactly like it does, but it gives you a snapshot of when the artist was looking at it. Again, 22 by 28 for $1,900. So if we take a look at this piece, we do notice something unique here, and that is the sky and some of the buildings are actually in the reflection of the storefront. And just looking at this painting, I mean, it could be one of a million storefronts in Chicago. This one specifically is on Grand Avenue. Not exactly sure on where on Grand Avenue, but another oil on canvas, 12 by 16 for $600. Thank you so much for joining in. We are now going to allow everybody watching in a couple minutes to just browse and see the paintings on the wall a little at a time. Thank you so much. Someone want to take a turn?
I'll do my intro.
Oh, go. Jump. That is tough.
Well, he has some support. So, thanks so much for popping in, and thank you, Juan and Julio Delgado, for the most beautiful mask ever. The most beautiful thing I own, obviously. So, cheers, happy Friday. And tonight is the closing of Audrey McCartney Barrett's show here at Art Space. And before we go back through her work, I want to tell you a little bit about Art Space. We're a very new art studio, art gallery in Logan Square at 3418 West Armitage Avenue. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and our website is artspacechicago.com. Pop in, have a look around. The Instagram and Facebook is the everyday. The website is really great for signing up for classes and finding out a little bit more. So we have classes here still, even though we're under some restrictions and we follow CDC guidelines very, very closely, all of us, because of course we don't want to get sick and we don't want any of our guests to get sick, so we're really careful. So we keep our classes really small, our in-person classes. So Tuesday is a drop-in kids class. Really fun. It's a fine art class. It's not a craft class. It's full every Tuesday, so I really encourage parents and caregivers to book as soon as they know that they want to do it. Our classes are so affordable, and we do that intentionally because we want people to make art and have fun and keep growing as individuals. So Tuesday is the drop-in class. We're also considering starting a second Tuesday class a little earlier in the day because our Tuesday class fills up very quickly because it's small. But we also have a Saturday portfolio class, which is a series of 5 classes that you make the commitment for the 5 classes. Same price, just the commitment is a little different. And in between that, we have adult private classes right now. And those can be either virtual or in person, one-on-one. And we're very careful about your well-being and of course our well-being for these one-on-one classes. So have a look on our Instagram, get an idea of what we're doing here. We teach everything from watercolor to acrylic. We teach everything, and at your pace. It's all about you, the student. So I think you'll really enjoy it, and I know our students really love our classes, and we love teaching them. Also, we do paint and sips virtual. We do parties virtual, where we prepare all the materials. We either ship them or you come pick them up. Everything is taken care of. They're so much fun. We've hosted for up to, I think, 40 guests on a virtual paint and sip. It was so much fun. We do kids parties, adult parties. You know, there's no reason not to have fun. You don't need a babysitter, you don't need a designated driver, you don't need pants. You just need to have some fun, make some art. We have great artists that run these paint and sips. And again, super affordable because we want you to have fun, we want you to make art. Also, Christmas is coming. You can buy a block of 5 private lessons for your special someone who loves to make art and just hasn't made the time. This is the best time ever to start to re-engage yourself with your creativity. Now is the time, in person here at Art Space or virtual, whatever you're comfortable with. Call us, email us, you're gonna be so happy. So anyway, let's move on with the show. And first, I'm going to introduce you to your two other hosts this evening. I'm going to put my mask on. Give me a second. Can't drink my wine with my mask on, so I'm going to sit first. Okay, so first I want to introduce you to Jake. Jake is a volunteer here, and he's going to show you some of Audrey's works, tell you about them, a little bit about what they're made out of, how big they are, and some of the stuff that he knows about the paintings. So, thank you so much, Jake.
You're welcome. Welcome to the show.
And now I'm going to introduce you to Nicole. So come on over here, and I want to show you what Nicole is wearing because she's so creative. This is her partner's shirt, and isn't that awesome? She's so awesome. And then these are what, her grandmother's pearls?
Yeah.
Something borrowed, something blue. Anyway, so Nicole is going to also guide you through Audrey's paintings this evening. And hi, Audrey, if you're watching. We love your paintings. And I'm going to turn it over now to Nicole. Oh, no, I'm not. Sorry, I've had a little too much wine. First, we're going to talk to Audrey herself. So come on over here, and we're going to meet Audrey, virtually, of course.
Hi, I'm Audrey Barrett. I'm a painter and I specialize in cityscapes, particularly Chicago. I was born in Queens, New York, as a quiet and only child. I was always drawing on paper or in my mind growing up. In the lower grades, I was distracted with the odd angles of the buildings outside my classroom window. As a young child, I was fixated on why the angles looked so odd compared to how the buildings looked when I stood in front of them. This is how I became to realize perspective. Architecture in Queens at that time was pretty boring, except for one building. The top had embellishments. It was not necessary, and yet there it was. It was wonderful. It sparked an interest in architecture. I did not start painting in earnest until age 30. I was fortified with my local library, art books, and interest in art history, and of course, architecture. I moved to Chicago suburbs in 1975. Inspired by the Chicago Botanical Gardens, I had a new career as a botanical landscape painter, showing in art fairs, galleries, the Art Institute Sales and Rental Gallery, along with my paintings being collected in a number of corporate collections. The Illinois State Museum made two purchases, which I'm very proud of. One's a painting and the other is a etching. Photographs. Photography is how I work. I need to work for my own photographs. My husband would take me downtown. We would drive, we see something, he'd pull over, find a spot, get out, walk around, take my photos from every angle. The more fun ones and the best ones are he will drop me off in a neighborhood and I will walk and we'll meet several blocks later. And that's actually the best way. And I feel the neighborhood, I feel what it is, where it's been. When I get home, I assemble a massive amount of photography. If I see something that's working, I pull all those photographs together because I've taken them from many angles. Think about composition. Maybe do a sketch or two, but generally I go right to the canvas. Here is a sample of my beginnings. This was a fresh canvas. I did my pencil sketch. I reworked it a couple of times. I always start with acrylics first. Draw, make some changes. I still have more to do. But I'm at the point where I can really start to consider it seriously. This is a view in New York from my hotel window. This was a rooftop garden, and I placed it with what I saw in this area. This is a more modern building, and I like the juxtaposition between the modern, the old, and the necessary. I'm going to work this out. I think this one might be okay. And make a decision. Am I going to stay with acrylics, or am I going to switch to oil? Thank Thank you for watching, and I hope you like my paintings.
So we'll go ahead and get started with Audrey's paintings. So some of the college students, they might recognize this. This is Loyola Station. This is up in Rogers Park. This is an oil and canvas. It's 18 inches high by 24 inches wide. These paintings are all come pre-framed. Audrey has a wonderful framer. So it's very simple, but beautifully framed. So the frame does come with the painting. That being said, the painting, this one here is 1600. Particularly, I love seeing the people standing up on the station waiting for their train. And I love walking and seeing in the distance the people walking and carrying about their lives. Very beautiful. And we'll keep moving. Now, if you live in Logan Square or grew up here, you might recognize this painting. This is on Diversey in Sacramento. Some of the buildings haven't changed. Some of the neighborhood has changed. In particular, that intersection, there's actually now a gas station, but at the same time, where the giant sign is, that's still a hardware store. So some things have changed, some things have not changed. This particular painting is an acrylic on canvas. It's 18 by 24 inches, and again, it's 1600. Just look at those beautiful street lights. Now, if we have any Cubbies fans, they might recognize this painting, or at least the location of this painting. This is right up near Wrigley Field, and this is the Sheffield and Addison train station. So this is where everybody comes in and goes out for the Cubs games. This is quite an iconic place to Chicago. So I totally expect some Cubby fans to recognize it across the nation and maybe want to bring this beautiful piece home. This piece is oil on canvas. Is again 24 inches high, or 24 inches wide by 18 inches high. It is already framed, ready to go into your home. It is 1600.
So anybody living in Chicago, I mean, even tourists know when it's bitter, bitter cold and you have to wait for the train, or waiting for the train on a nice day. Everybody knows that feeling, and you really get that sense with this painting. So here we are in Uptown, in the Bryn Mawr train station, and this painting here is oil on canvas. It is 20 by 24, going for 1600. So here we have a streetscape in Lincoln Park. You know, Audrey really likes to focus on the structures, the buildings, the cars, the street itself, the signs. You really get that sense here. And for anybody curious, this is in Lincoln Park, but if you know or recognize this street, let us know. There are some distinct buildings like the Cathedral Tower offset to the right, and some interesting colored buildings. This streetscape is going for $1,900, and it's 22 by 28. So here we are back in Uptown. You really get a sense of that dense urban landscape that Audrey's portraying here, and also a sense of what she was mystified as a kid with the angular nature of all the buildings in Chicago. This painting of Uptown on Broadway Avenue is oil on canvas, sized 24 by 18, going for $1,600.
Folks, so we're still on the train, still going around downtown Chicago. This particular image is the Ohio Street off-ramp. So if you're familiar with driving around Chicago, you'll recognize this spot. This is oil on canvas. It is 24 inches by 24 inches. Again, it comes with this beautiful silver frame all ready to go into your home at a nice, easy $1,600. Audrey really loves focusing on the architecture of the buildings. You can see there's lots of sky, but that's not the focus here. It's really on the beautiful buildings of Chicago. You can even see the lovely exits, emergency exit scaffolding, just in case. Even that has a beautiful bit. Now this time we're gonna head to the West Loop. This is Carpenter Street and West Loop. This is oil on canvas, again 24 inches by 24 inches in the beautiful black frame, $1,600. Audrey is very clever with this particular one, and I would challenge anybody to go ahead and look up this particular intersection, again Carpenter Street and West Loop. This intersection, she has taken some liberties. There are some minor changes from what you'll see in Google Maps to this particular image. So go ahead, take a look, see if you can spot the differences. Maybe email us, message us, tell us if you find them. We know what they are. We'd love to see if you guys do. Audrey's very clever with this one. Good for her. Again on the train, riding around downtown, you'll notice the Chicago Sun-Times building and all the cranes. This is called Crane Chicago. I like to think of this painting as a snapshot in time. This painting, Chicago, it is always changing, always building, and this is that snapshot while it's happening. Now this is acrylic on canvas. It is 24 inches by 24 inches. Again, beautiful black frame, ready to go into your home. at $1,600.
So if you're ever stopping by the corner bakery on the corner of Jackson, or getting your six-pack ready for the summer at Fitness Formula on 444 West Jackson Boulevard, this should look familiar to you. And just looking at this, you can tell it's painted and, you know, in this way where it is winter, and you could almost draft the people behind you, shielding yourself from the wind. This beautiful oil on canvas was made specially for art space. As you can see, it does not have a frame, and it was made really special just for this space. This oil on canvas goes for $200 and is 12 by 9, one of the smaller pieces. So here we are back in Uptown, this time with the train going by. And again, you can see the emphasis on structure. You can see the storefronts, the street barriers, the cones. This beautiful oil on canvas is 12 by 16 for $600. So this beautiful 22 by 28 painting is located over on 231 West Chicago Avenue on the corner of Chicago and River North. In River North, on Chicago Avenue, rather. And what's nice about this is, if you go past this building now, it will look slightly different, but it is a snapshot of when Audrey painted it. And that's the benefit of owning some of these paintings, is you do get that snapshot into history. Again, this oil on canvas is 22 by 28, 1900. This next piece is personally my favorite, and if you take a close look at the windows, you do see more of that focus on structure, but this time in the reflection. And then as we pan out, you can really admire that that could be really any store in Chicago, any storefront on any street. I mean, it's so familiar to anybody living in Chicago. This one was painted actually on Grand Avenue. This painting of the storefront is 12 by 16 and goes for $600. Want me to go around again?
Come on. I want to thank everyone for being here, and you can go ahead and replay this live event. Go back through the images, have a nice long look. Maybe there's a piece that speaks to you. I know that we here at Art Space definitely have our favorites. And you know, maybe we'll pool our resources and spring and buy one. I don't know, but there are a couple pieces that we really love. And if there's something here you saw tonight, reach out to us and let us know. The pieces will only be here for a couple more days, so let us know if you're interested. And I just want to have Nicole come over here and say goodnight.
Hi guys, and bye guys. We hope you enjoyed tonight. We hope you come back and see us again. Even if you're just hanging out with us online, that's cool too. We miss you guys. This situation is less than pleasant for everybody, but we hope that by coming together, creating something, we can bring some spark and joy back into the Christmas holiday, even this season. It'll be rough, but we'll be in it together. That's all that really matters. Right, Audrey?
Yes, so again, the pieces will only be here for a few more days. So if there's something you're interested in, reach out. And in the meantime, please take care of yourselves, take care of your family. Don't work too hard, because we're all working at home now, so we're working 24 hours a day.
Doing
So
all the jobs.
Please don't work too hard. Take good care of yourself. Find something that you love to do and do that. And then in the meantime,
We're here for you.
we're here. If you ever want to make art, we're here. You can play back all the beautiful images of Audrey's paintings and
Or my dance party.
or Nicole's little dance party. And thank you for joining us tonight or tomorrow when you're replaying this. And big hugs and kisses to everyone. Big Corona elbows to everyone who doesn't want to be kissed. And we'll see you soon. Take care.